Now, let's talk about the workplace as an example. I'm going to dive deep of my experiences of dealing with white supremacy in the workplace and how I encountered and how I handled the situation properly. I remember 4 years ago, around 2021, I was working with a temp agency out of Delaware in a remote location, and we were supposed to go to Pennsylvania, I believe, an area that was remote, a landfill of some sort. I remember it was me and another black man that was working in the landfill. We were supposed to pick up trash from a temp agency that was there. And this white man that was working there, that was in charge of us, had an attitude. He was trying to show us how to pick up trash, but not in a respectful way. You can tell by his demeanor, it was like kind of off. We were doing a good job until he came along and tried to play with our intelligence and tried to, exalt dominance over us for no reason. Quickly, I assessed the situation and I looked at his facial expressions, and I can tell it was a very nasty spirit with him. Other brother that was there with me, we looked at him and we say, "Sir, have a nice day. We're going to call the temp agency van and we're going to walk out of here peacefully." After the incident that was nonverbal, he was still talking, mumbling his voice. He went to his booth, called the temp van, then the temp guy picked us up, and he knew that it wasn't our fault. And he noticed too the racial intention in his eyes, his demeanor. So we went back to the temp agency for the day. I got my check. My check was probably half of $25 on that day. And I walked away. We walked away. I don't tolerate disrespect from nobody. I don't care who it is. I'd rather walk away than have to deal with altercation. And here we go again. In the town was located, it was all mostly white people. If I would have got with them in an altercation in that area, the police will probably believe him more than me. We would have been locked up, unfortunately, and we would not know what happened to us. So by logic, me knowing American history and knowing how to interact with these people, I was cautiously. We just walked away and just carried our behinds back to the booth and wait until the van comes. Because I think with my logic, not with my emotions, he was trying to get a reaction out of us and it failed completely. The job site was filled of trash and rodents. His spirit was trash. His demeanor was foul. I smelled lingering in the air, and I knew it by his eyes and by how he treated us was like crap. Still, after he tried to tell the temp agency what we did not do, temp agency listened to what he was saying, but they never believed in him what he was saying. They know all along he was lying about us. They know that we are hard workers. They put us in every single job in that decade, in that area, in the early 2020s, and they knew that we do a good job doing our job. He was one out of 20 clients to have one complaint. But his anger was kindled and they had the phone on him. And they know that this person wasn't a good person by how he treated us. So what I learned from experiencing that is, well, don't approach him. Keep a safe distance away from them. Observe. Make sure you check their surroundings. Make sure ain't no other ones of him around that's going to ally him. Make sure that you walk out of there in one piece. You have bulldozers. You have trash trucks. You have tools that are on the ground. So somebody like that, I keep an eye on. Don't trust nobody on that job site, especially in the landfill. He thought he can intimidate us in a way that'll make us uncomfortable. We would say, yes, master, and it never happened. Thinking back about that situation right there, I laugh about that. And it's a stark reminder of how some people still hold racist views in today's world. That was only about 4 years ago. And I think back about what I experienced in that job site, and I'm very aware of my surroundings and the city that I was in. The detail is this happened in Lancaster County, and unfortunately it was an all predominantly white suburb and county I was in. It was 2 hours away from Philadelphia and an hour and a half away from Delaware, a town that I was working in. A temp agency drove with a van to get me up there to work at a certain time period. But one thing that you will notice working for white people in suburbs like that is the hierarchy. You have white supervisors, white bosses, and etc. And you have the Negroes that are working below them that are doing like the slave labor, the sharecropping, they're in the landfill. But the white people are actually working in the houses, they're working in the buildings, they are working in the bulldozers, and so forth. They keep a watchful eye on you to make sure that you are working. Even if you're working, they'll still try to taunt you and try to lie on you and try to play with your intelligence to make you feel like you're less intelligent than what they are capable of doing. And that's not always true. Also, I was aware of where I was going to. The demographic of the area, again, was 90% white. And I noticed it was the equipment operator school, but for tuition alone was like $5,000 away from major cities. So it's all a plan, and it's all designed to make sure that the people that can get those resources are those people, and the poor people in the cities can't get what they want and for school. If they want to become equipment operator, they gotta come out there and deal with the racism out there with those people. So white supremacy makes sure that their people benefit for those resources. They make sure that we're gonna be on the ground mowing, picking up dirt, picking up gravel, digging, doing all the slave rigorous work that they want us to do. In essence, they look at you as cockroaches, lowlives. You're only to be disposed. You're only meant to be a slave. So you gotta think outside the box and don't tolerate that. I don't care if I'm making $18 an hour or 18 cents an hour. I'm not gonna be tolerating that. I'm not gonna be treated like crap because of what I was working at right now. So my life right now is blessed. I do have a CDL license, and I definitely am doing good for myself. So I praise the Lord for that. But that's a stark reminder of what used to be 4 years ago before I got all that. So that kind of pushed me in that time period to expand my horizons and elevate my life. And the important message is never let people treat you like crap. Respect yourself. Respect who you're interacting with. Love yourself. Never let people put you down. Never bow to no man or anything like that. You're not obligated to please them or anything. If you want to avoid conflict and all that so forth, the best thing I can tell you is, recommendedly, just walk away. Don't engage him. Don't argue with him. Just walk away. That's more powerful than fighting him. He wants you to make that mistake. You can go to jail for something that he caused, he tried to do to you anyway.